like dancing is the way to go. But if you let her see that man say footwork, show her that you're not that shy. Let her see that man say footwork, show her you're that type of guy.
So good to see you. Thank you for coming back for another dance movie review. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Tia Joy. Welcome. And to all of my subscribers, my fam, how y'all doing? It is so good to see every single one of you. Like, let's go. So we are going to continue this Step Up movie series with Step Up 3D. Yo, I am so excited to get into this dance movie review, but before we get into that, what I need you to do real quick is, for those who are new to my channel and you want to see more about what I do, hit that subscribe button, because I got some amazing content that I have been doing lately and I don't want you to miss out on anything futuristic that I do. So hit that button and also hit that bell so that way you can be in the know when I upload a new video. Step Up 3D. What can I say about this movie? Y'all, John and Chu, he did it again, bruh. This third one, I am so excited to talk about this because this movie, oh my gosh, man. Okay, so this one, they changed, they didn't really change, okay, so they changed up the characters, but I love the fact that Moose is back. And so we see Moose, him and Camille. Moose is played by Adam Savani, and Camille, who, if you haven't seen Step Up 1, she was with Tyler Gage in a foster home, but she is back, and evidently they've been having a friendship since they were kids, so it's cute. And Camille is played by Allison Stoner, and they're in college. And so I'm about to say Adam, but it's not Adam. Moose, he ends up meeting a guy named Luke because he was dancing against Kid Darkness in the street, and he loved what he was doing, and he pretty much snatched him up, and he pretty much adopted him and took him to this place called the Vault. And yo, I definitely want to be a part of this vault. Like, that vault was dope. Have you, the inside, like the training, or like the places where they train and freestyle and practice, like. But Luke, he is played by Rick Malambry, and he takes it to this vault where he meets the pirates, and it's so good to see, even though it's a different group of people, but yo, these dancers are so dope. If you haven't seen the LXD, a lot of these dancers are from the LXD, and that is the League of Extraordinary Dancers, and I love that series from all the way up to season 3. I'm so mad that, dang, it stopped, but I absolutely love that series. So if you haven't seen the LXD, go watch them, because a lot of the dancers from there are in this movie, and I'm so glad they snatched them up to be in this movie, because this movie, this Step Up, bruh. But he ends up being a part of the pirates, and they end up battling against their sworn enemies, which is the Samurais, who is led by Julian, who is played by Joe Slaughter. And he and Luke used to be friends, and there's a situation that happened, and next thing you know, them two are enemies. So you have crew against crew, and I love this Step Up 3D because I love the fact that this is more of a battle movie. So you have the first one where it's like they're in the school, the second one they are part of the streets, and they're with their own crew, and they go to dance competition. But this third one, they're actually battling crews against crews, so they can go to a dance competition where it's called World Jam. Now I absolutely man, so there's other characters that we have in here. So we have Natalie, and Luke meets Natalie at this underground club, but it's actually below the warehouse of where he and the pirates stay at. And Natalie is played by Sharni Vinson, and she is an amazing dancer and she ends up dancing at the club. Luke sees her, takes her in. I just love Luke's heart. Luke has that kind, sweet heart where he sees potential and he automatically like adopts you, and he just gives you a place where you can grow and bloom and be the best you possibly can be. I love Luke. Luke is just and I want to talk a little bit more about him a little bit later in my lesson. But I love the fact that he calls them BFAB, which means born from a boombox. And I just love the fact how he took on all these dancers, but also each one, like, to see the definition born from a boombox, that's amazing, because dance means so much to a lot of people, and the first thing that they connect with is with music. And so to see all of them and their different styles come together, and they join this crew, and they're the pirates, they are absolutely amazing. So we have other members in here. So we have the Ticks, we have Jason, who's aka Twitch, who plays in here. We have Vlad, aka Mad Chad, love the dude. We got Carlos up in here, played by Oren Macaulay. We have Jacob, who is played by Keith Stallworth. And we have the Santiago twins, which I absolutely love them. Them two are hilarious, but they are so amazing dancers too, and they tap too, which is really, really nice. And then we have Kid Darkness, played by Cloud. And then we have the rest of the dancers, who is part of the Pirates, which is great. And I love the fact, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to wait until behind the scenes. Okay, I'm about to get into some of my favorite scenes of this movie. Yo, it was so hard to choose the top 3 because this movie had so many amazing dance scenes. It's hard. Y'all, this is hard. It was so hard because it was between the battle in the beginning with Moose and Cloud Darkness. Then you have the club scene where you see Moose dancing and he sees the samurais and they start dancing in the bathroom to go out to the club. So we got that whole scene, and then you see Natalie and her doing her dance in the club, and all of them dancing going on. Then you got Camille and Moose in their routine that they were doing, and then you got the tango. It's like, and then you got the battles, and then of course you got the battle scenes, the battle dances. So it's like, bruh, it's so hard. So these are my top 3 scenes. I hope you guys are ready. So my first one is the first battle between Red Hook and the pirates. Now I just love this scene because Red Hook was the raw beast dancers. Like, they were soldieristic, but they also, the musicality that they had was amazing. And I love the fact how they used the dust or the sand or the powder, whatever you want to call it, in their routine. And I love also to see Dave Scott and Jamal Sims, they both was in this scene, but to see Dave Scott dancing with the Red Hook, like all of them, man, this scene, it was so raw. So you have them in the beginning with Red Hook, and they're doing their routine, and they're dancing, and they like, it's to Mims, move if you wanna, and the movements that they did, the snaky movements, and then they go into the partner moves that they do together. And I just love how soldieristic their movements are. And then they go into the little like, and then they do the guy, they lift him up in the air and he spits. And then I love how the pirates answered back, and how they played with the music. There's like do 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 do, like to who was it, Busta Rhymes, Tear the Roof Off. Man, and then to see Jason and him doing his crump move, like he was getting not crumping, but he was getting crunk. And then they start doing their routine to call back. And I love the scene with the hat when they're walking, and they are walking with the hat on their chest, but their head is gone. And then you got the girl who does her tutting, it was like she was tutting in between the ghost sounds of the music, but every single time she kept tutting, she ended up getting back in rhythm with the music. And then like the tutting was so sick. Like, let's go. Like, this girl was raw. She was also part of in the LXD. Like, oh my gosh. And then to see I want to say Twitch, but it was Jason answer back with his crump moves, and he started doing his stuff, and then you see Mad Chad come through. Vlad, sorry y'all. And he comes through and he started doing his robotic movements, and then all of them like on the side, they're like man, I love this battle right here. Like, both teams were hungry and the energy was so high. Like, it was so up there. Like, man, this Red Hook and Pirates dance scene, and then they start doing the do. You see Vlad, and he's doing his little isolation with the neck while they scooping and doing their rolls at the on the floor. Man, yo, this scene, it just gets me so hyped because it just makes me want to battle somebody. So my second favorite scene that I like about this movie is the House of Guai, and I just love the Pirates and their whole routine. Like, the House of Guai, they did a really good job. Their team was more like a b-boy crew, which was cool. So I like how the Pirates responded back with their b-boys, and I just love the scene with the Pirates and how their routine was, and especially when the part where Moose and he comes in. And if you've seen the second one, Moose, his introduction of him dancing was his introduction when he was on the stairs, but for him to be in full performance mode where it's like, this is Moose, and how he even got the opportunity to be a dance major at his school and the department that he was part of. For him to be in this scene, and he comes in and he ends up hitting the little knob that was on the side of the stage, and at first it was like, dang, like I ruined the floor, but then again it was water, and I like the fact that it didn't rain, but the symbolism of water, like, let's go. So to see him come out and he start doing his dancing, and I like the fact how with the group they start doing this tribal-ish type dance, this African dance in the water, and I just liked how they played with the water, just like in the second, with the Red Hook, how they used the powder and played with it and used it as part of the routine. I love the fact how the Pirates, they did the exact same thing. To see them dance, and it looks like they were like fountain dancers, which was sweet. And the other crew, they couldn't really do much about it because they tried dancing with the water, and they're like, what can we do? But I love the fact to see the Pirates, they were well prepared, and they're just some hungry dancers. Like, you could tell they probably danced in the rain, they probably danced when it was super cold, they probably danced when probably a storm, and regardless of what you throw at them, they will be ready. But this other crew, they were not ready. Love to see how they did their little cannon in their line, and then Moose goes on top of them and jumps, and they go, oh, so that was really nice. And then you see the b-boys, and they do their spins, and I like as they're spinning, the water is just splashing, is making all these shapes. So it's, man, I love it. And then they just start kicking and doing their little freestyle, and then Moose does his little spurts at the end. Man, I love this. I love this routine and the scene from the Pirates going against the other crew, and the other crew, y'all didn't have no chance. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, there's nothing you could do. Now, my absolute last favorite scene. Man, the genius behind this whole battle between the samurais and the pirates. This was a really, really good battle. That's all I got to say. So, but the one thing I also loved about this battle as well is like an introduction of a brand new crew, even though they still have the same name. So you have the pirates. They lost some members, but they gained members. But guess who they gained? They gained the MSA crew. And I love to see Keto, Fly, Smiles, Hair, Monster, and Cable. And for all of them to come back, and then you have Camille who joins as well. To see them all come together unified underneath like as a brand new crew, but would just, it was just great. And then you have the samurais, they gained some of the pirate members, so you see Carlos and him dancing. It was cool to see the amp up of the new crews on they just pretty much had an upgrade with their crews, which I absolutely liked. I love the scene with the start off, and this is how it's almost like as they started off the battle, this was basically what they're doing. You have the pirates that went first and they started, and it's like, here's our crew, and then you have with the new members as well, then you have the samurais who did the exact same thing. And I'm just going to tell you some of my favorite parts in this dance. So the first one I would definitely say is when you have the girls, and well, first of all, it was with Cable when he came up on his toes, like that was dope, like to see that. And then I liked how the samurais, how they had the B-boys do their thing, and I liked to see the B-girls, and I like in the second when they had the B-girls too. That was really cool. So to see the B-girl dancing with the guys was really, really nice. I love how Alison Stoner, or Camille, when she was walking, it was like she was a walking tall woman walking in the air, and the guys were just like helping her walk, and they were doing their little wacky movements. I love that. And then I love the scene with the samurai when you have Bookie frantic in that wave movement. Yo, that was sick. Like, that was so sick. And then the guy behind him, like, you can't miss that. And then I love the fact how they rotated the scene, because you had the Santiago twins, they did their thing. And my other thing that I like is Mad Chad and Moose, and they did that head drop. Yo, like, that was so dope, like, to see that. And man, like, these crews was ready, they were hungry. But I had to get into my absolute favorite moment in this battle was when they had the light up suits, man. Ugh. Yo, like, oh my gosh. And to see every single time they either move or get directed by, like, the colors change. So you see the Ticks, they're doing theirs, and they have their color that they're dancing with, and you have them in the back, and then you have Moose, who directs. Once again, he has the whole full suit light up. You had the shirt, you had the pants, and the shoes. And I like how the announcer, he was like, you can't get that at Foot Locker, y'all. Like, and then he started directing. He's like, da 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 bah. And then he started directing, and they had the little lasers on their hands or they wrist, and they started doing laser movements too. And I love that sky view that they did, so you can see that. Man, I love that. And then he goes that side up, and then slams, and then he comes, and then he start moving, then he does his slide back, and as he does the slide back, the colors change again, and then they start doing his thing again, and then everybody else, and then he comes back and he gets the hat and he swipes, and then all the lights go off, and then you have the pirates, the little kids, they come out and start doing their routine. Man, yo, they killed this, man. Oh my gosh. And then they just start going into groups and start doing their moves, and they come together and it's purple, and then it changes again when the B-boys do their flips, and then they all go on the ground, and then they go the little wave, it goes choop 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 choop, and they start waving, then the flip, and then he does the flip, and then he lands down, and then it changes again, and they pop. Man, yo, this, oh man, I can't. I really can't. This scene was so sick. I was tripping in the theaters, y'all, when this thing came out. Oh my gosh. Man, like my brain, the way it's set up, it's like. This was, oh man, I love this battle, man. This battle, I watched this I don't know how many times. Once again, as you saw the second one, I watched that last battle so many times. This one was the same thing, man. And I love, the lesson that I learned in this movie is, as I said earlier, I love Luke's heart. I love how he took people, he just had that heart of gold, you know. He took people who didn't have a place, to give him a place to stay in the warehouse, and I liked how he was carrying on the legacy of his parents, even though they didn't really see it. But for him to have this warehouse for them and give them the place for the dancers to stay, and I loved how even though they were all different, but they all spoke the language, which was dance, and they all worked so well together. They were just a family, and I just love how Luke gave a place for them to have that. And I love what Santiago twins said. They were like, dance is our weapon, but our clothing is our armor. Like, come on and drop some wisdom, shall you? Like, and the vault, can I live there? Because they had everything. They had shoes. Like, they had Foot Locker, Shoe Plate, Palace, and Finish Line all in one building. Like to see the lineup of the shoes, man. Like, in the clothing, the outfits that they had in the background too. Like, they had their own department store inside of the warehouse. Like, but Luke provided that for them. So anything that they needed, he had it for them so they can live and survive all together. They were just a fam. Like, I absolutely love that. And I liked how Keto, she did the exact same thing when they came up with her, and she gave them a place to stay, and they just made home out of anything. They're like, I just need a place to rest my head. They weren't picky at all. And I just loved how like, I just love how his heart was like that. But I also liked how, even though Luke made sure everyone else was cool, I like the fact how Natalie, she was like, you're just as great. You're gifted too, and you're a filmmaker. And I liked how, even though he was focused on everybody else, she was focused on him. And sometimes we get so caught up in everybody else and make sure everyone else is good that we don't stop and think about ourselves. Once we get to that moment of serving people and doing things for people, we don't really think about it like ourselves. And I know for me, for years I've been serving, making sure everybody else is good, make sure people have what they need, to a point where I didn't know my own worth. I didn't even know I knew I was gifted and I knew I have amazing talents, but as far as me focusing on myself, that's so new. That's like a new thing for me. For Luke to do that for a group of strangers who end up being fam to him, I loved how he provided that for the dancers. And I like how Natalie was that person to help him to think you have something too. It's not just about everybody else. Like, think of yourself every once in a while. And I like how Jacob, how he came to him, he was like, thank you for helping us live our dream. Now it's time for you to live yours. And I like how Natalie also helped him, and she was like, you're so gifted. And she applied to film school for him because he didn't have the guts to do it, because he thought, nah, like, I just do it for fun. But he was gifted too. And sometimes we have to take the time to think of our own worth as much as we are to think about everybody else's worth and making sure they're cool too. And I liked how that he had that heart and he did that. And I just love how he asked the question of, why do you dance? That's something that I want to hear in the comments. Like, why do you dance? Do you feel like you're born from a boombox? And it doesn't even matter where your skill level is at. It doesn't matter if you're professional or not. Like, why do you dance? I know for me, I dance because I just love challenging my body in what it can and can't do. And basically challenge my body in what it can do. And I also love the fact that I get to share those moments, either freestyling myself by discovering new movements, or freestyling and dancing with other people who can speak the same language. I love how it unifies and brings everyone together, no matter what race or what culture you're from. When you speak the language of dance, it's so powerful. And to see everyone come together and celebrate that and talk and see the differences, the way different people interpret the music with their body, it's a beautiful thing. That's the lesson that I learned. Y'all, they took it up another notch with this Step Up 3D, and I did go watch it in 3D as well. So to see the different effects and things flying, the dust and the spit with the water and the bubbles that Moose did at the beginning, like, I saw, like, to see all that come at you, it was great. So they did an amazing job. They really stepped it up. Good job to every single dancer in this movie. You all did such a phenomenal, amazing job. So good job to y'all. Also to the choreographers. Man, can I just pick y'all brains? So we have Jamal Sims, we have Hi-Hat, we have Dave Scott, and Richard Tone. So first of all, we got the first three, Jamal Sims, Hi-Hat, and Dave Scott. Now they are the choreographers for the second one. So the fact that they came back to this third one, the geniuses, and they took it up another level, and then you got Rich and Tone added in here, bruh. bruh, you cannot go wrong. No wonder this movie was super dope, because we got the geniuses up in here, okay? And they just, oh my gosh, they did some dope stuff. So good job to all of y'all. Also amazing job to the assistant choreographers who did this movie as well. In here we have Don Draco Johnson. So to see Don Draco Johnson as assistant choreographer, if you've seen Footloose, the remake one, you see Jamal Sims and Don Draco. I see y'all. I see you. We have Christy Crater and Troy Kirby, and they were also the assistant choreographers as well in the second one, so they came back. And then we got Steve Zulu Gremlin Roybal up in here. Then we have Ron Zinwan Wood, and then we have the choreography coordinator who was Steven Bryson. Y'all did an amazing job. All y'all choreographers, you did so good. This movie killed it. Bruh, like that last one though, that battle, it trips me out. Okay, so okay, amazing job. Yo, I wish I was in this battle, man, just so I can feel, I can feel it as I'm watching. But anyway, y'all killed this movie. All the choreographers, amazing job. All you guys will be listed in my Dancers Hall of Fame, including the dancers. Every single dancer, you mattered in this movie, and you took it up a notch. So I will list all of you guys in my Dancers Hall of Fame. Great job to everyone. That's all that I have for this dance movie review. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button and also subscribe, and plus that bell. By you sharing and liking these dance movie reviews that I do, it really shows YouTube that I am doing something, and it's gonna help me to get noticed. So if you can just hit that subscribe button after watching this, and that like, and share this video as well. Share it to anyone that you know. It would mean so much to me. And also, if you see the names on my Dancers Hall of Fame, go ahead and tag them in this as well, because that also helps to get this expanded, because there's so many dancers. I tagged the dancers and the people and the main dancers in this movie. Tag the dancers that is listed in this movie if you know that they were part of this movie, and let them know that they are just amazing dancers and they're in the Dancers Hall of Fame, and you see them and you are so excited the fact that they were a part of this movie. So please go do that. I upload a new video every Tuesday and every Thursday, so I'll see you on the next one. And y'all, don't forget to make good choices, okay? I'll see you all next time. Bye.